Well, I'm going to present you the first results of a study that tried to address the following question. Is it possible to define a set of pan-European target values for the assessment of marine benthic communities status? So this is a work that begins with the votes and is ongoing. So that's why you only have preliminary results. So we are dealing here with macrobenthic communities. Those communities are shaped by the complex interaction between biotic factors and abiotic factors. Those complex interaction makes the macrobenthic community very diverse at the level of ski scale. Human activities impact benthic communities by modifying those environmental factors. As a consequence, the macrobenthic community can be modified in terms of species composition and led to alternate states like the blue one or the yellow one, or the green one. You can visualize this change on this multivariate analysis. In this case, it's quite easy to identify what is good environmental status, this is community A, and what is not good environmental status, those are community B and C, as a result of human activities. But in the most common case, we need to know what is the natural benthic community occurring in the monitored area as a function of the natural environmental factors that are occurring in this area. Otherwise, it's impossible to interpret, for instance, the results of this multivariate analysis. What we do know is that benthic community change according to some pressure, especially organic matter inputs. We do know that it's changing the species composition of the community, but what tells this model is that we can track those changes using very simple metrics such as species number, biomass, and abundance. As a result, we try to build biotic indices, which are basically one number that reflects the state of the environment and the state of the benthic community. And we have to define target values for those numbers. A quick review of the existing biotic indices shows that the term diversity is core to this approach. In order to define diversity, the main metrics we use are number of species and some kind of dominance evenness pattern defined by abundance. In this context, we try to address the following question. Are these basic metrics highly variable among naturally occurring benthic communities? And is it necessary or even possible to define reference values and target values for a set of naturally occurring benthic communities at the scale of European seas? The first challenge we faced was to define what we exactly call by number of species. I won't go into detail, but we decided to use the same sampled area, the same number of samples, and to take into account the number of individuals collected. I have to remind you that this is a measure of alpha diversity only. Second challenge was to define what we call benthic communities. There are several ways of defining macrobenthic communities. In this case, we relied on multivariate data analysis. We also tried to use existing typologies such as the UNIS habitat classification. The first step was to identify the main communities occurring in each dataset. For now, we have identified between 3 main communities in the Baltic, for instance, up to 10 different main benthic communities in the Western Mediterranean case. We have 6 datasets with 6 different areas. The second step was to characterize the environmental condition of each community. This is shown on those ugly diagrams that you can see. You have the different datasets. So these are basically depth profile with an offshore coastal axis, on which we have plotted the occurrence of the benthic communities in the different areas. What it shows is that depending on the datasets, the functions, the structuring factors are not the same. It seems that depth, however, is a good explanatory factor, but it's not probably not pressure itself. The last step consisted in analyzing the relation between those very simple metrics, such as number of species, for instance, and the communities, which are on the left. Our results show that there are differences among the different data sets with communities that are species rich and communities that are species poor, and it also showed that there are differences within one data set among the different communities, with communities showing high number of species and communities showing much lower number of species. Regarding number of individuals, this is basically the same results. We show that there are differences among the data sets, but also difference among the benthic communities within one data set. Regarding the last one, which is, regarding dominance and evenness pattern, the picture that is shown shows that it's much more homogeneous than regarding number of species or number of individuals. But we have in some areas some large variability of dominance and evenness pattern. So those are only preliminary results, but it shows that there are differences of number of species, abundance, evenness, dominance among the main benthic communities. Defining target values, taking into account community type is, I think, desirable. Is it possible? Well, that's a work in progress, so we'll see. Thanks for your attention.